NYC, motherfucker. When I put my first car together, I was a scrawny, silly 15-year-old with a super tight budget, but I had this dream in mind. This awesome patina-covered pro touring beast. And over the years, I've gotten the car pretty close to that dream, but never quite there. So in this video, I've got some incredible finishing touches to really bring that dream on home. So you and me, let's get to work. Noise complaint has gone through 2 phases in my ownership. Phase 1 is broke high schooler slapping it together. Phase 2 is nice wheels, nice suspension, and nice brakes. And by golly, I'm excited for phase 3. If you are unfamiliar with noise complaint, I don't know, maybe pause this and watch 15 other videos right now. Dumbass. Just kidding. This is my first ever car, 67 Ford Mustang. It's powered by a cam 5-liter. It's got a 5-speed manual and a Curry 9-inch rear with disc brakes. We just installed 15-inch Brembos off a 2015 Mustang, and the car is already sitting on a CPP tubular pro touring suspension package, so it handles really well. Now there are some things that need some attention though, such as the 19-inch tires that are absolutely spanked. The ugly front end that is rattle canned by me at least 3 times by now and super faded and ugly. We've got a lot to do to make this thing absolutely unique, absolutely finished and perfect. So let's stop talking and let's get to it. Come on. You guys are gonna see noise complaint naked. Bumper. Can come off. You're about to see me remove a lot of zip ties and self-tappers that held the front end of this car together. Wow, young Tom. A lot of missing bolts on this car. A lot of missing bolts. I did not think that through. I can loosen this chrome grille trim with my fingers, which is awesome and efficient. This headlight is held in almost primarily with zip ties. I will be making this right. You bet your ass I ain't never getting rid of these headlights though. We have got zip ties holding the headlight buckets in too. Nice. There is a bolt for the fenders inside the door, but thankfully only the passenger one has it. These fenders are almost ready to come off. Ready? 1. I always forget something. Oh. Thanks Ford in 1967 hiding bolts in obscure places. Now, 1 fender can come off. There she is. Adios. I will set this aside for another box in the future maybe. Fender number 2. It's getting real. Aiden and I have spent some time to actually clean this inner fender area. We wiped it off, got the dirt out, and then Simple Green scrubbed it, so now it should be really nice. I'm doing that because I actually care about this car, and this is likely the only time I will see these panels for the next 10 years, at least. Noise complaint is now completely torn apart, completely cleaned off. I mean, check that thing out, dude. It looks sexy. And what I'm about to show you is something that I have wanted since high school. The parts in this box, I've had my eyes on. I've followed Instagram pages of other car guys that have put them on their 67s. These are so cool. It took me 6 months to get them because they're made to order. Only one company makes them. A company called Meyer Racing makes these. These are fiberglass fenders, but not just fiberglass fenders. Let me unwrap them and I'll show you something super cool. Now, not only do these fenders weigh like 20 pounds, they are flared. Not flared in the common big wheel lip way, but the entire body of the fenders are flared 2 1/4 inches. I mean, can you see that? Do you see how wide that makes the car look? You have no idea how long these have been on my wish list. Because Noise Complaint is a car that I never want to spend too much money on because I'm never going to sell it. I'm never going to get the money back. I have always wanted these. It took an egregiously long time to get them, and it took a long time for me to pull the trigger. Oh, that's gonna look so cool. Oh, that's gonna look so good, and so wide, and so mean, and you're not even ready for what I'm about to tuck under these fenders. It's gonna be insane. I'm getting excited. I think these are gonna take a fair amount of modification to fit because right now they're just raw fiberglass. They have no holes in them or anything, so that might suck, but I have to drill all the holes, I have to mount the headlight buckets, and then I'm gonna put them on the car. Because, as you saw, Noise Complaints headlights are held in with zip ties and self-tappers, I bought new headlight buckets and new bucket assemblies with all new hardware just so I don't have to deal with that. And I can actually adjust my headlights because I'm pretty sure one was always pointed directly at oncoming traffic and the other one was pointed at the trees. So that'll help. Yeah, this is gonna be a sucky install. It's gonna be a huge pain in the ass. I didn't know these fenders came completely holeless. This is gonna be an itchy day. I'm just accepting it at this point. I'm already itchy. This is attempt 3 of installing the headlight buckets. I've had to modify the holes many times, and I have managed to break one of the studs, trying to loosen it and adjust it, because I bought cheap remade headlight buckets. So far the experience, not great. Ooh, that's really tight. And it still doesn't fit great.
A few moments later.
After a lot of trial and error, the first headlight bucket is installed with 2 out of 3 bolts. It's good enough for me. Now I have to fit it on the car and see just how much of a pain in the ass it's gonna be to actually put it in the rest of the way. I did not know that fiberglass never comes with any of the factory mounting holes drilled. That's a not fun fact at all. That is the opposite of a fun fact. I will probably never buy anything fiberglass ever again after this. First of probably many modification cuts. Be careful not to breathe right now. Okay, can we get a head start on this, please? I'm basically eyeballing where these holes are gonna land. I really hope this is the last round of hole drilling. That's not gonna happen. This is gonna take a while. All right, now, let's see. What do we got? I'm gonna be doing some finagling here. A lot of finagling. Body line's gonna be far from perfect, but I don't care. Not perfect, but not bad, honestly. After one shot at drilling those holes, things are turning around for the better. Okay, and just like that, we're mostly installed. A little bit of clearancing to do, but we're almost there. Now these fiberglass fenders did not come properly cast to bolt on the bottom of the car like factory fenders are. They're a little bit short, so I'm using this old exhaust hanger that I've cut up to bolt to the fender and then bolt to the car, kind of as an extension. So once these cool off, I will install them. Cameraman got me a cup of water to soak them in. You thirsty, cameraman? No, because I know you'll actually do it. All right, leveling up slightly from self-tappers, but I am gonna use zip ties. Now I will be using a zip tie, but a metal zip tie, a permanent zip tie. Expertly installed. Now I don't think the door opens because the clearance at the bottom of the door is not great, but. Oh, that's actually pretty close. Little bit of contact down here, but that is nothing that this little zipper wheel can't fix. That actually let me get the gap more uniform, and while it's not perfect, it doesn't look too bad. Ready? Not quite. okay, fender sticks out a little further than the door, but we've got nice clearance, and the fiberglass fender is actually bolted on better than my old ones were. My old ones were held in with self-tappers at the bottom. This one's actually bolted and zip tied, but don't worry about it. That actually looks really good. Time to move on to fender 2. Hopefully I've got this drilled where it needs to be. And I'm hoping this process is a lot quicker than fender 1. I've got tons of fiberglass experience now.
Don't be shy. It's acting pretty shy.
Keep forgetting this box is not a table. Fender number 2, please fit. I think we're on the right track, sort of, kind of. Fender number 2, attempt 2 after I trimmed it a lot. You know what? I'm gonna do a modification just because I think it's right. The dumbass stud that comes off of the car's chassis that this has to bolt upwards onto really pisses me off. And I'm sure it serves a purpose that is probably important somehow. But it's not that important to me. Perfect. Attempt 3. If you really like Legos, you probably shouldn't get into cars.
Don't be shy with me now. Get on there.
Why does this one look like it's gonna fit exponentially worse? That's not comforting at all. That's a whole lot of yikes. A whole lot of not even close to the body line. I've matched this body line relatively closely. Not perfectly, but before it was like overhanging by almost an inch. So I had to lop a lot off. I'm gonna have to do the same thing I did to the passenger side, but first I gotta pop the holes in the top to bolt it on, and then we'll go from there. Hopefully perfect. Hopefully this is the last time this goes on. Come on, baby!
Come together for me. You are kind of sucking right now, and not in the fun way. Damn.
Now let's close the hood and see how bad I messed it up. Oh, that was a bad sound. Just gotta do this real quick. Clap it back in. Hey, we ain't perfect, but I ain't mad. Oh yeah, I can work with that. Again, we are not gonna be perfect or anywhere close to it. Please lower your expectations, but we're almost there. Not perfect, but not too bad. I have finally gotten this fender completely bolted down, so now I'm going to get that door gap as good as I can, and then we'll keep moving. I'm not gonna lie, that's kind of fun. It's like drawing my own door to fender gap. And while yes, I'm aware the fender sticks out like 2 millimeters farther than the door, I'm not worried about it, especially if it opens right now, which would be super cool. No, not quite there yet.
Little more trimming to do.
Right here in the corner, actually. I've gotten that pretty good. Not great looking, but opening, closing, and tight. So now we can move on. Now we can start assembling again before paint. The next step is the front valance, which was actually broken, but I have the piece, so I will put it where it needs to go. Like it never happened. All right, other side was cracked, so I fixed that too. Now I can toss it on. The one thing I didn't drill yet are the holes that mount the valance to the bottom of the fenders, and that's proving to be a challenge. I spent like half an hour on the other side getting it fitted up, hammering it, drilling the holes without really being able to see them. But the passenger side's looking good, driver's side, we'll see. While I'm doing this, cameraman's working on scuffing these fenders, because right now I think they're raw fiberglass, so I want to just get a coat of something on them. Boom. I will say, I am unbelievably itchy right now, and I'm not even done yet. I am itching all over. I am itching on my back, my arms, my lungs, my eyes. Fiberglass is not for the faint of heart. So basically what I'm trying to do is line up the bottom first. like that, and then square the top up as well. It's not gonna be perfect or even close to it, but nothing is, for me at least.
Now I'm basically going to eyeball where to drill this hole and hope that I'm accurate. I'm gonna say right there is gonna be perfect. And if it goes through this threaded bit, then my eyeball is tuned. How are we looking? Nope. How's that? Woohoo! Look at that. Eyeball engineering at its finest.
Not bad. Just like everything else, not perfect, but not bad. That body line's probably as close as I'm gonna get it. I might mess with the bottom one real quick now that the top is tight, but that's close. Now, the valance is installed. Now it is paint prep time. So cameraman's been scuffing fenders. I'm gonna go ahead and remove the chrome grill trim here, just so I don't have to tape it off. And then we're gonna get this prepped, and I'm going to shoot it with spray paint. We figure while we're in it, we may as well just touch up the paint on the whole front end, minus the hood obviously, because it's such a pretty shiny gel coat. All right, we are dedustified. Now we can prep everything and tape it off. Now the paint work we're gonna be doing is gonna be quick and dirty, just like everything else on Noise Complaint. I am taping off the extremities and I am prepping it very nicely. And I'm really excited to hit this with some semi-gloss black. We're stepping up from the flat black, just a little bit, semi-gloss. It's gonna be a bit of a challenge to blend it into the flames, but I got a plan. You guys have no idea how exciting this is. These fenders have been something on my wish list for so many years. First thing I'm gonna do is hit any bare metal and raw fiberglass with some primer. Hey, it's gonna dry less shiny, but that looks crazy right now. I got a good feeling about this. What do you think, Josh?
That's badass, buddy.
Dude, that looks crazy. Ooh, I've never seen a front end with a satin on it like that. I'm gonna do one more solid coat on the fenders. Just like that, I am literally out of paint, so that's the best we're gonna get. Oh, hello. It's a new day. The paint is dried overnight, and I am very excitedly removing the tape, because this looks awesome. For spray paint, it looks great. We still have a fair amount of work to do today to really button this thing up, but I'm excited, because this car is gonna look a whole lot different. Next step, some shiny brand new grille trim. If you didn't know, these little fasteners are the absolute most obnoxious things on planet Earth to install. I've said many choice words in the past 5 minutes, and I've been struggling greatly to install this. It sucks a lot. All right, that trim was unbelievably aggravating, but it's on. Now I get to tackle installing the headlight buckets, and I barely have a clue of what to do with this, so it's gonna be fun. And there is a spring involved. I'm not quite sure where that goes. This is also as aggravating as that chrome trim. The supplied hardware with these headlight bucket kits doesn't even fit. Also, it's physically impossible to install the springs in those buckets. You try. If you know what I'm talking about,
You know what I'm talking about. So hopefully that spring's not too important. I'm now very annoyed.
So I'm using my old headlight buckets with new hardware, and now I'm going to reinstall my headlights, which I have cleaned up and polished and waxed. Remember, when working on a project like this, it's never the major parts that fight you the most. It is the last 10% of what you're doing. It is the super duper intricate and obnoxious pieces like this that fight you nonstop and make you incredibly annoyed. It's also annoying when you buy brand new kits and the hardware doesn't work, like I have experienced with these headlight buckets. Thanks, eBay. I totally did not do that to myself. Okay, after trial, error, a lot of curse words, and one zip tie, we have a headlight installed. Headlights that are probably really badly adjusted with my eyeballs are installed. Now I have the running lights, which I did not paint the buckets of because I forgot, but
It matches the vibe, I guess.
last step for the front of this car. Put my bumper on that cameraman was nice enough to hit with a quick polish. Hello again. All right, I'm gonna set it on the ground. No big deal. Now I can close my hood. Let me stand back. So first impression seeing this, like the paint looks great, but it doesn't look that much different. But that's okay, because the difference is subtle. And we are gonna make it not so subtle very soon.
One last little finishing touch.
I found this license plate cleaning out an old man's garage, believe it or not, and it matches perfectly, because I own Speedies, which, if you didn't know, offers only the best stainless steel mufflers, resonators, and stainless steel boom tubes money can buy. Now let's check this thing out. I have literally always wanted those. Throwback to literally like 2018, 2017 even. I wanted those fenders, and now I got them. And they actually fit pretty good after I modified the ever-loving shit out of them and drilled every single hole needed and waited 4 extra months for them to be produced. Do I recommend you buy them? I don't know. Depends if everything I just said is worth it to you. They were $1,500. Kind of wish they'd have holes in them for that, right? Anyways, let's keep working. Mr. Noise Complaint has to have a quick appointment in the air before we can go have fun and have real satisfaction. My original plan for putting the car in the lift was to fix the rear sway bar, but then I realized the rear sway bar is simply just not going to work because my 9-inch rear has significantly more beef than the 8-inch did, so this is a lost cause. Good news is the car still handles like it's on rails, and I haven't really noticed a difference since it's been off. But while the car's up in the air, I can fix this. My drive shaft loop, that since we did the rear end swap and different drive shaft, has been not the right size. Normally this bolts in to these holes right here, but now, as you can see, if I were to bolt it in, it would be touching the drive shaft when it's at full suspension droop. So what I'm gonna do is weld it on, and if I wanna remove it, I'll just have to unbolt it from the floor, which is fine. So I'll just zap this back in place, and we'll be on our way. Nice, that looks terrible. May as well go ahead and restore the one sway bar I do still have, because it was getting a little rusty. Now, it's time for the thing we've all been waiting for, and by we, I mean me. Let's lower the car down a little bit, and I'm gonna show you something. Down we come, just a hair, and we stop right there. It's made a poem, if you didn't notice. Pulling off the already legendary wheels with their horribly bald tires. Why would I be doing that? And why would I be maybe setting them aside? I bought these wheels when I was 18 from a local guy that parted Mustangs out, and I only bought them because they were all he had, and I needed wheels. Now what I didn't expect was for these wheels to turn Noise Complaint into a completely different animal, made it look super modern and pro touring-ish in a way that I can't explain. So I will not be selling these wheels. I will never get rid of them. Don't worry, but I think you're gonna like what I replace them with. Why are you still filming me? Do you see this right here? This is one of 4 brand spanking new tires. Not only regular tires, these are 305 3019 Nitto NT555 G2s, thanks to Nitto, who actually sent them to me for Noise Complaint, which is insane. I appreciate that, Nitto. And if you guys want these tires, which perform great, I've had them on many vehicles, check them out. Link is in my description, but I guess you want to see these wheels, don't you? Now, before I show these to you, keep in mind, these are the same width all around. 305 tires, which is basically a 10 or 11-inch wide tire on all 4 corners, and the Forge Star F14s in satin bronze. I'm trying something crazy. and I cannot wait to see how these fit. So let's go, come on. Get up, cameraman. Get up, let's go. I'm sorry. I'm incredibly excited. Forge Star F14s are some of my favorite wheels on the planet, and I honestly think Nitto tires are like the best of the best. Take that in for a minute. They're not even tucking yet, buddy. I will secure these with my mismatched lug nuts. Damn. I'm gonna admit, when we were working on the car yesterday, we already tested the tires on the back, and it was awesome. But this is the awesome part. I used to have maximum width of 265 on a tire in my stock fenders. Now, well, 305s tuck. The center caps don't. Judging by the fact that the rim hits the control arm and the center caps popped out, I'm probably gonna need to put spacers on that. Good thing I have spacers. I'm nervous right now. I don't know if you can tell. I'm very nervous. Unfortunately, the only spacers for Ford that I did have are 1.25 inches. They look like they will clear. However, I'm not sure these wide-ass tires are gonna clear my strut tower braces or shock tower covers or whatever they are. But if that's the case, I'm gonna take them off. Come on, baby. That is so awesome. I'm pretty confident they'll clear the fenders, and I'm not at all confident they will clear those shock towers, seeing as the old wheels already did rub. Interesting. I guess we'll try it first. Those are some f***ing steamrollers, dude. On the front of the Mustang? Are you crazy? This is gonna be so cool. Hey, check it out. One more, just for fun. Now, let's put it on the ground and at least see if we can clear that shock tower and see if it tucks. Because, oh my God, it's gonna be awesome. All right, cameraman. You wanna show that beastly wide steamroller stance? Come on, please clear. Oh, I can already hear that they don't clear, but oh my God. They're rubbing the shock tower right now. Dude, that looks like a cartoon rendering. Holy shit. Dude, that looks awesome. Now, if you look at it from this angle, do you understand the fenders? Oh my God, that looks ridiculous. Dude, it looks like not real to me. All right, look what we did. 19 by 10 Forge Stars, 305s all around, big ass Brembo brakes, wide body front end. Dude, come on. Come on. How about a re-rubbing them? As of right now, it actually looks fine. It actually looks like I might lift it up and hammer those shock braces a little bit just to make sure they're out of the way, and then I'm gonna drive this thing. Cameraman, what do you think?
I'm obsessed.
Declan, what do you think?
I'm happy.
Ooh, look at that thing right there, buddy. So thick. Noise complaint just got a BBL in the front. Wait, wouldn't that just be a boob job? Oh, this is so cool. It looks ridiculous. I don't know if it's gonna steer. No. I don't know if it's gonna clear when I hit bumps, and the answer to that is definitely not. No, I can't even drive it until I put 1 inch spacers on it, definitely. That looks awesome. And I'm gonna turn the tires and see how bad it is. Because I don't wanna hit a bump and a turn at the same time and rip apart my brand new fenders. Contact?
Not yet.
Not yet.
Contact.
Dang. Well, it appears my work here is not done. I need different spacers. I need to remove or modify those shock tower braces. And I might need to trim my fenders a little bit. That still looks awesome. It's been about 30 minutes since we filmed anything because I realized yet again, I did not plan enough. I did not do enough measuring. And for some reason, I just expected 305s to clear flawlessly with this setup. I thought the fenders would magically just give me the space to add tires. I did not do a simple math problem. I did not do any research. I just figured, I bet I could fit square 305s all around with 10-inch wide rims, no problem. Since filming the last clip, I put a 3/4 inch spacer on this side instead of the 1.25 inch, and it did help bring it in, but now the tire is pressed up against the bump stop at all times without moving at ride height. And also the tire, if you look, cannot turn past about 1/4 of a turn or else it's gonna hit the fender. Also, I was thinking, well, maybe I'll just trim the fender a little bit to clear the tire. If you look back here, if I hit a bump or take a sharp turn there's a good chance this wide, sticky ass tire will grab this fiberglass fender and just rip it to pieces. And after waiting 6+ months for these custom made fenders and paying a bunch of money for them and making them fit, I think if that happened, I would have a stroke. So right now, the thought process is, this is the smallest spacer that I can fit utilizing these wide wheels, which again, I got custom made, like the fenders. So it's not like I can just go buy a thinner rim. If I want to use these wheels, I need this 3/4 inch spacer, and I'm thinking I need a thinner tire, which really bums me out because my dream was kind of 305s all around. Not really a dream, I just thought it'd be cool. And I don't know if that's gonna work with this setup because it's currently hitting the outside and the inside without moving and barely turning. I'm thinking a 275/30/19 would clear everything. I might even be able to add an inch spacer to keep those shock covers and bump stops. I'm just not sure. We've been sitting around contemplating the possible options. Do I risk it like a daredevil and just trim up the fender, but then destroy all the hard work we just did? Or do I play a little smarter and find the right tires, but not have the car done today? I've already ruled out the option of trimming the fenders and hoping for the best. So I think what I'm gonna have to go with is get slightly thinner tires, a 275/30, which will be about 0.8 inches shorter. I think that would just work, and I wouldn't have to modify the fenders at all. And I also wouldn't rip the fenders off. I really wanted a 305 all around. I just don't think it's gonna work, especially with a 10-inch wide rim. That really sucks. I really wanted to drive the car in this video. I think this video is gonna suck without driving the car. It really is a bummer. I'm thinking I need to play this smart and I need to respect my favorite car on the planet and not just go drive it for the video. I don't know if you can sense my disappointment because this thing looks so cool with 305 steamrollers on it. Just not gonna work. This is the harsh truth of eyeball engineering. Things like this happen sometimes. And we are back. I took a little bit of time. We've got noise complaint turned around on the lift. And most importantly, I've grabbed some 275/30/19 Nitto NT555s. These, hopefully, will fit on the front of the car. I've bought a couple different variations of spacers as well. So now let's cross our fingers that I didn't just completely mess up the wheel offset because these were custom made wheels. And I'm dumb. Back up we go. I have bought 1-inch spacers, which I think and hope will be the perfect amount, because before I tried 1¼ inch and 3/4 inch. So this is right in the middle. Please, 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 please. Oh, it's looking relatively close. Please, 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 please. Please work. And for the record, Nitto did sponsor me with the 4 305 tires that I started with, but I didn't want to be a huge pain in the ass, so I bought these myself. Nitto, if you're watching this and you're confused, I did this out of the kindness of my heart. Also because I want you to keep sending me tires. Just for testing purposes, I'm gonna put the 1¼ inch spacer on the driver's side just so we can compare fitment side to side and decide which spacer is correct. Because I don't want to be doing this all day. I got more stuff to fix on this car. Okay, I've only chipped the finish off of my brand new Ford Stars in a couple of places. Now let's set it down and see which wheel clears better. Those wheels still look badass though. This is looking so much more promising than last week. Dude, this is looking really promising actually. They have like the slightest little bit of stretch, but this is so much more promising. I actually think the 1-inch spacer might work. I gotta crawl under and look at the bump top, but. Hey Jay man, can I get you to turn the steering wheel for me? Oh dude, I think we're golden right here.
We're money?
On the 1-inch spacers. Yeah, turn it. Keep going, keep going, keep going. Okay, good. Come on. Please, 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 please. Please. Dang. Might still have to do a little trimming. This side cleared because it's currently sitting higher, which I don't really know why. I'm gonna put the 1-inch spacer on this side, and I might have to do a small amount of trimming, but I will try my best to make it look natural. It's a race car. Who gives a f? Let's do it. Boom. Now we've got 1-inch spacers on both sides, and I'm gonna put it back down and visualize where I think I need to trim to make these fit well. Now my plan was to trim a little bit off of the front of this wheel lip on both sides, so I just marked on the passenger fender where I need to do that. And then I came over to the driver's side to do the same thing, and the driver's wheel clears perfectly, even when we're bouncing on it. So I think that just has to do with the custom nature of these fenders. I think the passenger side isn't quite as true and square as the driver's side, which is fine. And honestly, when I did the driver's side, I did a lot more trimming in the back to make it fit, so it makes sense. This side just has better clearance, I guess. In my mind, it makes sense. So on the passenger side, I have to trim off like a 1/2 inch on the front little bit of the fender. Hopefully it's not noticeable, hopefully it looks fine. And then we should be ready to rock and roll. Well, after we do some other stuff, but you know, close. Feeling confident that I didn't completely destroy that. It doesn't look quite as nice as it did when I got it, but with a little bit of paint, you're not gonna be able to tell. Now does it clear? Turn that wheel, Declan. How we looking?
Oops, stop. I might need to do a touch more.
I feel as though I got that pretty good. Let's coat it up so no one can ever tell that it ever happened. Hey, when you're looking at it like this, it looks mostly like it came like that. Now let's set it on the ground and see if I've trimmed enough. I hope I have. Attempt 2, come on.
We are really close at the bottom, if not touching. I might have to scrape just a hair. It's touching a little bit.
It's a full lock.
Yeah, just a little more, okay? Can you crank it backwards a touch?
Yeah.
Because I think anything more than full lock, it's fine. Stop. Yeah, I just need to trim a little bit at the very bottom. In fact, I think I can do it right here.
Done. I'm calling that done and good and perfect, and the wheels are on and they're tight, and I don't think they're gonna rub horrendously bad, unless maybe I do something really aggressive driving, but better than we were last week. So now, back up on the lift, we've got one more thing to modify. Now that we're back on the lift, I would like to tackle the rear sway bar once and for all, which is gonna take some modification. Because as you can see, my 9-inch rear is far girthier than the 8-inch, and where the sway bar used to straddle the 8-inch center section, it cannot do it on the 9-inch. Now, as you can see here, the way the sway bar mounts is it takes these rubber thingies and basically clamps to the axle tube. But as you can see, the axle tube is too far out for this to evenly grab it. So if I want to make it work, I think I'm gonna have to cut it down the middle and widen it. But then that rises the problem of, is it going to hit the shocks if I do that? And my answer to that is, I don't really know. I actually have no idea. I don't know if cutting this and welding a pipe in the middle of it will weaken it and make it break when I hit a hard turn. And I don't know if it's gonna hit the shocks. And I don't know if I'm gonna be able to make it work at all. But I am gonna give it a good old-fashioned try. At its widest point, this sway bar in total is 32 inches wide. I'm going to widen it by 3 inches because I've just measured, and I think that's what I need. So when I'm done, it'll be 35 inches wide. And I hope that it's square. You guys know I'm really good at this sort of thing, so wish me luck. As usual, do not try anything I do at home because normally I'm doing things wrong. This will be a test to see if what I'm doing works. I found what I think is the center line. I've eyeballed it, and I've marked it with a temporary window paint marker. So I'm gonna cut it right there and widen the hell out of it. Wow, that's actually really thick tubing. Thicker than I thought it would be. That's how it was. That's how it's gonna be. You feel me? I gotta be careful or else this is gonna get confusing really quick. Now that sway bar is made out of steel, so I've bought 2 different pieces of steel. This steel looks like it'll slide over nicely, but it does not have the same wall thickness, so I don't know if it'll be strong enough. And I actually don't know if this is gonna be the right ID to slip over. And it has a very large wall thickness. So I'm gonna try the thickums first. Do you slide over? Ooh, get up close on that. Check that out, look at that. Ooh, that, there's hardly any wiggle in there. Dude, if I wanted to make this sway bar 10 inches wider, I could, dude. Now, because I know that the sway bar does this when it's under load, I don't know if cutting and welding an intermediate widening pipe is going to completely destroy its usefulness. But I do know that the rear of my car doesn't really body roll that much as it is, so I don't think this thing moves that far. And when I weld the ever-loving snot out of this, I think it'll be all right. So basically I just have to trim this big pipe down. I want it to sit over on this, like at least an inch on each side. And we're looking for this to be 35 inches in total. If I just welded this pipe as it is right now, we'd be at about 41 and a half. That's a bit long. Because I'm widening this 3 inches and I want 1 inch of kind of overhang onto the sway bar, I'm gonna make this big pipe 5 inches in total. You know what, we'll go 5 1/4 just to be safe. I gotta cut it right there. Honestly, yes, this is a piece of suspension, so I should probably feel very precise. I should be doing this far better than I am, but I think it's gonna work. You know, I think it'll be fine. Sharpie mark it is. So I've cut this pretty accurately at 5 1/4. I want to go 1 inch from either side of that. So basically I want this pipe to sit in that amount. I will now mark these pipes 1 inch and 1/8. There's 1 1/8 inches there, 1 1/8 inches there. These will mate like so, right up to 1 1/8 inches. This will mate up to 1 1/8 inches. Boom. Now, if I've done that right, this should be about 35 inches wide. We're at about 34 3/4, so maybe my marks aren't 100% perfect. That is because I have guessed on most of this, but now we are right at 35. Right on the money, right on the ticket. Not that this amount of difference is really gonna affect anything because the front mounts with Heim joints, so a little bit of this, probably fine. Again, don't listen to me, okay? I'm an idiot and I'm doing this wrong. Please remember that. Let me reiterate, I'm an idiot and I'm doing this wrong. So with that being said, let me tack it and we can test fit it. 2 pretty hardy tacks on there. Unfortunately, my awesome little curry badge here makes it so I can't mount to a nice even surface, so it has to come off. Womp womp. Restore that real quick. Now let's toss on our rubber sway bar mount bushings here. Boom. We have these plates, go around them. We'll slide them out to the very hairy edge right before that turn. Whoop! Hello. Like that. Now they will mount like this. You understand?
Did you test fit to see if that'll fit over?
No, I didn't. Maybe I just wasted an hour of time on something that will never work. That's close. It's looking a little stretched, just a hair. Now we're gonna go on bottom. It looks like it might work, maybe. It might just be a little stretchy. But thankfully, that's adjustable. I should have brought nuts, and I actually should have brought all the hardware. Well, update, we've gotten it kind of mocked up, and it looks like it might work, but just oh so barely. We have these started. Everything's clamped down, but we're kind of hitting the rear end housing and both shocks at the same time. I mean, aside from that, it's perfectly fine. Other than the fact that the sway bar also is not reaching these anymore. It's almost like we have to extend this 3 inches as well. I might have enough pipe for that. I don't know. Now, my worry was that this was gonna be a bad angle to mount the sway bar to the chassis because it is a forward angle, like 45 degrees, and before it was straight up and down, which makes more sense. But you know what I did? I asked ChatGPT if it was okay, and I even sent ChatGPT a photo, and it said, that looks fine. So that means I'm going to weld it out of the sway bar and attach it. And we're gonna go for a test drive and see if there is horrible clanking and body roll, which I kind of doubt it. There might be some clanking. I bet it'll work. Don't try this at home, especially on your suspension. I'm feeling more and more confident in my incompetence. I got a little poopy on one there. Little poopy, but just don't show the poopy side. because the rest of it is, hey, I said don't show the poopy side.
Sorry.
We got a little dribble while I was welding. I got a little too crazy. Besides that, it doesn't look hilariously bad. In fact, I might clean it up and stack a little weld on this right here. I'm gonna definitely not grind off my ugly weld and weld it again. I'm definitely not doing that right now. Hey, I said, hey. Yay! I've never claimed to be the best welder or even a good welder. Check it out, I don't think those are gonna break. Now, if I really cared and wanted to be super careful, I would have drilled plug holes on either side of the outer pipe and then plug welded them. But this is already ghetto to start, and it already might not work, so I'm not gonna put that energy in. I'm strengthening the metal, or weakening it. I actually don't remember what this does. Looks like CPP made it that way. I've gotten this about the best I can, I think. Not overly confident, but it should work. Now my sway bar is lightly gracing my shock a little bit. It's okay, it's just a little dentage. I might jack up the rear end and see what happens when everything comes up. Yeah, I think it's okay. Continuing on. I bought these adjustable heim joints. They are not adjustable enough. So it appears I am going to, instead of adjusters, have a piece of metal that I weld to it. At this point, this is just for the sake of experimentation. I don't even know if this is gonna work at all. Basically, I just wanna see if my horrible suspension geometry and ghetto fabrication makes the car handle worse or the same or better. Basically what I'm gonna do is jack the rear end up so it's almost sitting at ride height, and then I'll use that as my baseline. If you're a suspension genius, please let me know, because I feel like I'm one now myself. That right there is basically ride height. That's pretty damn close. Yeah, basically I would like to adjust these out more, but when you have a nut or lug nut or anything like this, you at least want to grab the amount of thread that the thread is thick. So basically this width, you want that amount of thread grabbing. You don't want to go any more than that, because then that's pretty weak. All right, well, time to make a custom spacer. Now, what would happen hypothetically if I didn't follow those rules and I screwed this out to the point where there's not much thread grabbing? It still wouldn't work. Are you picking up what I'm putting down yet? Now, one of these is going to be adjustable and the other one is going to be welded solid because I bought the wrong heim joints, and one has reverse threads and one has regular threads. So basically, this one will be adjustable, the other one will be welded. Now, what side should be adjustable? That's the big question. I think because I'm the driver, so I get specialty, I want my side to be adjustable. That means this will go here. Side number one, looking relatively sturdy. I have now welded this one all together. It looks horrible, but I do have some adjustability, so I will put it in the car and then adjust it to where it needs to be, and then I'll weld it some more. It appears I have gotten this adjusted perfectly the first time, so I'm gonna take it off and weld it some more on the thread parts, just so we know it's not gonna break. I have made the ugliest and possibly not the best functioning, but very strong sway bar end links. Just a light coat of paint on this will make it look like it came that way from AutoZone. Suspension experts, is this angle bad? Is it bad for it to be this angle? I don't know. I don't know. I'm not gonna pretend like I'm doing it right, and I'm gonna tell you do not do this at home. I don't know, maybe it'll work great, maybe it won't. Everything's tightened up real nice. It is touching the shocks at all times, and it is also touching the rear end at all times. And also the mounting angles are not great. So I'm not going to claim anything other than I'm a genius, and this is gonna work perfectly. I sure do hope this is the last time the car is on the lift. How's my rear ride height? Is it fine? I don't hear any clunking. That's the lift, don't worry. Ride height looks good in the back. Do we have full clearance in the front after our excessive trimming today? I believe we do. Driver's side, which for some reason sits higher than the passenger side, and I don't have a good explanation for it, but it clears even better. I have to say I was really disappointed to not do 305s all around, but I don't mind the 275 fitment. It's got like a 1/4 inch of stretch, which I don't love, but that's still slightly wider than the old tires. And they're Nittos, so they're sticky. And I am very excited to see how this handles now. Shall we back it out of the garage and see? Noise complaint has never had this wide a tire in the front with a sway bar in the back, which I guess is the only thing we've changed handling wise, but these are some sticky ass tires on some wider wheels with all of the suspension maybe intact depending on how this works. It's glued. I've been driving this thing on bald ass tires for God knows how long. We have made it to the reveal location. First time laying eyes on this in this form. It looks insane. So far, it feels like my rear sway bar is swaying. I don't know. It doesn't feel like the body's rolling. It feels like it's shifting side to side, which is what it's supposed to do, I think, right? Like, it feels good. And also, oh my God. Those Nittos make my 15-inch brakes work a hell of a lot better. That was some G-forces right there, buddy. Shut the damn car off. Another nice thing I've noticed is that when I hit a big dip in the road or a big bump, my front tires no longer rub my fenders. They used to always do that. It'd be like, honk! I could hear it. It didn't quite sound like what I just did. In fact, it didn't sound anything like that. But basically, my old tires used to rub the fenders every time I hit a dip. Now they don't. It's good. So that's one win for the new fenders. do a burnout for him. Chance, if you're watching this, check me out. My oil pressure is always like that. Them tires are sticky, buddy. Hey, look, it's got oil pressure now. It's okay. It's fine. What are you doing, dude? Damn.
You think this is a f***ing joke? You wanna run me off the road, buddy? When I'm on my scooter lane?
That's not even road f***ing legal, pal.
Listen here, this thing will go 30 miles an hour, no problem.
Yeah,
buddy.
so will this thing. And then it'll stop abruptly in your lane. Whatever. I don't need this today.
I'm so happy with this car. It looks so sexy and looks so good. And the front end looks so wide with these fenders that I have always wanted. Yes, they were a pain in the ass to install and they took a long time to get here, and one side might be a little different than the other side, but they look awesome. We're now tucking 10-inch wide wheels in the front with 275 Nittos. This thing handles like it's on rails. Also, thanks to my awesomely, expertly engineered rear sway bar again. Thanks for being here. I'm really happy with this car. Let me know your thoughts, though, on the best damn automotive content on YouTube, because I'm here for you guys, because you guys are here for me. I enjoyed working on Noise Complaint. It is V3 now. It is what I've dreamed of for a very long time. It's got my all-time favorite wheels, some badass sticky Nitto tires, thanks to Nitto, and those wide fenders I've always dreamed of. So thanks for being here. I love you guys. Check out tomsrefurb.shop if you want some killer merch. Check out speediesequipment.com if you want some brand new mufflers that are just restocked along with some new ones. And most importantly, check out Tom's Refurb Raw on Patreon if you want to see a new video every week of a new car you've never seen. All uncensored, all original. Check it out right now. Peace! I'll see you guys soon! Bye.